Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Friday session, good overall pullback in the stock market. Volume was slightly higher on the exchanges today, but still it was about average on the New York Stock Exchange and below average on the NASDAQ, so nothing too serious. Those downtrend lines are still going to be, pretty difficult to go over without any kind of volume surge on the upside, and then there's some parallel overhead resistance line straight across, not drawn on the SPY, that I have basically drawn on the diamonds here. So as you can see, lots of overhead resistance. But despite all of that, look at what happened again today. The Russell 2000 IWM continued on with its march into new highs 3 days in a row. Now I would like to see us pull back here, because look at this again. V ramp move, V ramp back down. 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 V ramp move. What do you think is the likely outcome? So what I'll be watching is the 50 200-day moving average, this low right here. This resistance line should now become support. So we'll see if that happens. Also, if you can see here, the 5, 10, and 20-day moving average. I'll want to see the Russell 2000 find support anywhere along there. But right now, that index looks great. Not only does that index look great, but the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline lines is sitting at all-time highs. And I tell you what, if these senior indexes can play catch-up with the Russell 2000 leading, my long positions are going to continue to do well. And on that note, what a session today. I am carrying a ton of positions. They're all working. I am carrying tons of stops on these positions. I have multiple stocks where I have anywhere from 5 to 10 stops, and I'm talking more than a couple handfuls of stocks where I'm carrying anywhere from 5 to 10 stops on. And with that being said, I had less than 10 stops trigger intraday on Friday, and I only had one partial sell stop trigger after the first hour and a half trading, and that was in VNCE when it went below one of my raised stops here intraday after the first hour and a half. But besides VNCE, nothing else triggered, and that included the market selling off at the end, index wide, with the Russell 2000 leading the way on the downside in the final hour. So impressive. One of the stops that did trigger it this morning, IFON, is my only 100% end of day sell signal, and it's a speculative name, but I'm only showing it to you because this is the only stock, and this was the ugliest stock on the day, and it was an orderly fail. I went long here, orderly fail here. I was already knocked out of half of it whenever it went below here. I finally was knocked out of the full half. I had to reduce my stop lower by 1 cent each day because I wasn't knocked out here. Moved it to 1 cent below that day. Wasn't knocked out here. 1 cent below that day. Finally knocked out IFON. So that's it. That's the only 100% full sell signal. There were only two 50% end of day sell signals. REDU is closing below its 20-day moving average line, not shown on this chart, on above average volume. That's a 50% sell signal with a negative 4% loss on that trade. Moving half the stops to here. I have some here, some here, some here, and some here on the remaining red U. And then OLBK, this thing barely closed below its 20-day moving average, 50% sell signal. I'm moving half of my stops up to this low, but I'm splitting that. So let's say that I have 100 shares. 50 will go here, but I'm getting even tighter. 25 here, 25 there, and then I have a stop here, a stop there, a stop here, a stop here, and a final stop here. Like I said, multiple stops, because this is not a raging bull market where the indexers are rallying on heavier volume, all the indexers rallying. If that's the case, then I probably just have one stop here, one stop here, one stop here, 3 stops. But instead I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because of the way the market is, I adapt and ebb and flow and learn to trade according to the market. And right now the market is telling me Keep it small, keep a lot of stops, and I'll continue on with that. And with that being said, let's go to the new long positions. VRSK is the highest allocated signal. This was in my Cancelim scan and in my price volume BOP surge scan. 1.5% of my account capital. I'm going long with the limit order of 106.35. Once again, all these stops: 104, 104.12, 102, 100.25, 95.20. And once again, if this first stop goes before these come into play, I'm moving half to all of my shares up depending on how we pull back. All if it loses the green BOP catalyst and sells off on heavier volume. Partial if it pulls back normally and or keeps either the catalyst or does it on lower volume. But VRSK is the longest allocated position. This doesn't mean you have to put 1.5% of your account capital. Whenever I do that, I'm putting $7,500 of my account capital into this position with the Interactive Brokers account that I use, paying only $1 in commissions. So allocate accordingly. Everyone has a different risk tolerance. I'm just giving you the exact parameters that I will be using on Monday. And NATH, this is a Cancelim quality stock. This was not confirmed in my price volume BOP surge scan due to the low overall volume, but obviously would have been, but it was in my tertiary scan, so at least it was confirmed in another scan. Nathan's getting long. 1% of my account capital at 79. First cut loss, 76.39. Second cut loss for me, 74.64. Third cut loss right there, 72.94. And my final cut loss right there, 69.74. Same thing goes. This level goes before these levels come into play. 50 to all of it gets raised immediately. And then IMMU and TST are from my Perfect Speculator scan. I used to write for TheStreet.com and RealMoney.com 10 years ago. When they went on a hiring binge, right before they went on a firing binge. But boy, that was a great 3 to 6 months, however long I worked there. Loved writing for that website. But TST, very nice candle over candle price bar right off the 50-day moving average. IMMU is basically a bullish support level test of the gap up following some positive news on huge volume. BOP increased from the session before at a very high green level. Volume was above average. Excellent support test. So first I'll go over IMMU. 0.5% of my account capital since it's extended from its 20-day moving average. Limit order 20.99. First cut loss level 20.37. Second cut loss level, the gap fill at 19.63. Third 18.04. Final 17.57. IMMU. I really would, even if I get knocked out of a few, I want to give it a room to work on the final half because I'm hoping this thing can move sideways for about another week and build on that green BOP or hold that green BOP and then give me another signal. TST. Limit order 180, 1% of my account capital because it's not extended, but because it's a higher beta stock that could give me more alpha on the upside if it works. I still want to use multiple stops just in case it doesn't work because it's a larger position for a lower price stock. 174, 171, 167, 165, and 161 will be my stops on TST. CAVM is the final new long position. This is a former Cancelim quality stock. It was in my price volume BOP surge scan. It's slightly extended, so 0.5% of my account capital, $2,500. Limit order 77.93. First cut loss level right there, 75.49. Third cut loss level, 72.57. Final cut loss level, 67.49. Once again, these levels go before the others come into play. I'm moving half to all of my stops up. And then, it worked yesterday. Let's see if it worked on Friday. Let's see if it works on Monday. MODN is triggering another pocket pivot point. Bullish hammer candlestick over candlestick price bar. Signal on heavier volume with BOP confirming the move as it grows to a higher green level. There's very little red BOP on the chart, and where it's at the exact price bar low. So I almost love this chart. I would love it if it had green BOP and yellow BOP the entire chart and max green BOP this whole time. But MODN, add signal, Cancelim scan, confirmed in my price volume BOP surge scan. Since it's an add signal, it's in half, 0.75% of my account capital. Since it's extended, it's halved again, 0.375% of my account capital. Limit order 18. First cut loss level right there, 1740, then 17. Final cut loss level, 1660. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. I will see you back in the chat room for another SPY trade of the day. Let me go over those really quick. I botched these the past 6 sessions. I'm only 2 for 6 each day doing my initial open position. But with me being only right 2 times out of 6 days of trading these things, which by the way means that my long positions did amazing, I still basically broke even with a slight gain. But if you could still do these right, never forget, there's a 50% move at the morning. And then later on in the day, there's a 75% move. And on the call side, if you can get these right, there was a 40% move and a 70% move. So the power of these option trades are spectacular if you can get them right. It was a rough week for me trading these, but eventually I'll be 6 for 6 and I'll be getting these larger moves in these SPY options. I mean, just look at these puts, 75% in under 10 minutes. And right here, you got a 50% move in right around 1 hour. I mean, that's just very, very, very good stuff if you can get it. I just biffed it pretty hard this week. But with that being said, very, very, very minimal losses. So excellent, excellent week, especially with the long positions. We'll see what happens on Monday. All right, everyone. Aloha.